Today we're going to be talking about adding decimals. And when we're adding decimals, we do some things with the numbers that we do with regular numbers. It's just that we don't really think about it normally, okay? So let's kind of just start out with adding like a regular number. So let's go with something like 248 plus 52. Now, when we line them up this way, we line them up for a reason. It's not because we want the ends to line up. That's not really what we're doing. What we're really doing, and my 5 looks a little funny. Let me fix that. Okay, it still looks funny. Better? I think it's better. Okay. So what we're really doing is we're lining up our numbers by place value. So what you're going to notice here is the 8 and the 2 are both in the ones place, and the 4 and the 5 are both in the tens place. And here is the hundreds place, and we don't have any hundredths in this number. So it overhangs. And we could put 0 hundredths there, and it's not going to change it. It's still 52 because this 0 is not a placeholder. It's not doing anything. It's just filling in space. There's 0 hundredths if I do it that way, and there's 0 hundredths if I do it that way. Hundreds. So that's kind of what we do. And then we add, right? So we have 8 and 2 is 10. Well, because 10 ones is 10, we have to carry the 10 over to the tens place. 5 and 4 is 9 plus 1, is 10 again, so we have 10 tens, so we got to carry that over to the hundreds place. So 2 and 1 is 3, so we have 300. Okay, so basic, we get that. Now if we're dealing with decimals, okay, decimals are lined up the same way, except to us sometimes it looks a little funny. So let's say I have the number 2 and 3/10, okay? And I want to add 4 and 35 hundredths to that number. What I want to do is right now they are horizontal. I want to line them up vertically so that I can add them. Okay, and this is important with decimals so you're keeping track of what number is where. So I'm going to take 4 and 35 hundredths plus 2 and 3/10. So I'm going to line them up vertically. And then I'm going to add them. Now you'll notice something interesting here. The ends aren't lined up. But it's not really the ends that need to be lined up. It's the place value. Notice decimals need to be underneath each other. Decimal on top of decimal, ones on top of ones, tenths on top of tenths, and then hundredths on top of hundredths. If it helps, if you have this blank space after the zero, the decimal, you can put a 0 then as long as it's at the end of the number that comes after the decimal. It's not going to change it. It doesn't move the 3 to a different place, so it's not a placeholder. And having 0 hundredths is the same thing as having 0 hundredths. So if it helps you, you can put a 0 in here to help you. All right, and now we add. So 5 and 0 is 5, 3 plus 3 is 6. The decimal comes right down here in between the tens place and the ones place, and 4 and 2 is 6. So you get 665 hundredths. And really the important thing to remember is that you need to line up your decimals, line up the ones place, line up the tenths place, line up the hundredths place. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, let's say we've got something like 0 and 99 hundredths. And we're going to add 2 and 507 thousandths to it. So I got to take this and I have to line this up now. So 2 and 507 thousandths. Whoops. I don't know what I was writing there. Plus, I already forgot the other number. 99 hundredths. Okay. So we're going to add that. Again, 99 hundredths is the same thing as 990 thousandths. Okay, you can add zeros all day to the end of a decimal number and it's not going to change what it is worth. If I were to put the 0 here, then it would change the number because it would move both of those one place over. But these ones are not changing my number. I still have a 9 in the tens place and a 9 in the hundredths place. So I can put a 0 here to help me add if that's helpful. So I have 7 and 0 is 7, 9 and 0 is 9, 5 and 9 is 14. Put down the 4. So 14 tenths is makes more tenths, more than, so you have to put into the ones place because 10 tenths makes 1. So if you have 14 tenths, you have a 1 and 4 tenths. So you carry the 1 over, decimal goes right underneath, bring the decimal straight down, and 2 and 1 is 3. So you get 3 and 497 thousandths.